Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be at Giancarlo here today. We're going to be drinking some Chateau Timberlake, right? So we're very excited about that, and then some champagne because today we're featuring our Valentine's menu. So we have a couple of items that Chef Jeffrey has put on the Valentine's menu for LA Prime. So we're really excited about that, and we're really happy to see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces. So we're going to be doing 2 dishes, and then we have a beautiful dessert we're going to be serving. It's our Valentine's dessert on Valentine's Day. So if you have not, made reservations, Friday and Saturday we're going to be doing a menu up in LA Prime. So we're excited about that. So first we're going to start.
Manna de Leon scallops, which is like a U10 scallops, means 10 to a pound. The diver caught. We're going to serve that with arugula salad with cherry tomatoes, bull's blood, crispy sweet potatoes, and a chili and citrus oil. Then we're going to go into halibut, which is Atlantic halibut line caught. That we're going to do with king oyster mushrooms, fava beans, and a yellow tomato compote that we make here. And you guys are actually going to cook that and clean it up and everything. So we'll show you guys how to do that. Andreas is actually going to do the first course. Yeah. And
we're tag teaming today.
Yeah, we're going to do everything. And then we're going to finish with our signature dessert that we have that we just created upstairs for LA Prime. It's a double ganache cake with ganache mousse, ganache cake, and a praline crumble on the bottom of it. So it's something new that we just came up with. You guys will actually be the first people to try. It's going to be one of our signature items. So on that,
all right, let's do it. Come on, go on. All right, so I'm going to do the first course, and then Jeffrey's going to do the halibut. Okay. So So we're going to start off with our Manna de Leon scallops. These are like my favorite scallops in the world. You guys know I'm the long-term attendees. I'm a scallop lover. Really, really sweet. They're local. They're from the Pacific. It's from a small island, Manna de Leon, which in Spanish means a hand of a lion. Right. So we're really a great quality. I found that they're really the quality, the sweetness of the scallop is as good or better than the East Coast diver scallops. They're really the best scallop you can find. So what we did today is a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of black pepper, and a little porcini powder. So first we're going to start off by getting our pan a little warm. We're going to do a little bit of olive oil. And when you're searing the scallop, you want to get a nice crust on the scallop. And these, when you put one of the things about putting the scallops in a pan is you want to start them on low. You want to make sure that your oil is in a pan. You want to make sure that it's not cold. If your pan is cold, then the scallop's going to stick to the pan. So you don't want that, right? It's like a piece of fish. You really have to know how to gauge your temperature so that it doesn't stick. Okay, so once you put your scallop in there, you want to just lightly move it to make sure it's not sticking. Just like that. See how it moves but it doesn't stick? That's what you're looking for, okay? How many of you guys cook scallops at home? Yeah? Scallop lovers? Right here. Okay, so we're going to sear our scallops, and what we've done, as Jeffrey said, we're doing a little bit of rocket arugula, which is kind of like a spicy green, a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of bitterness. We're going to toss it in a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper. It's going to kind of balance the flavors out. Okay. So you want to just kind of keep an eye on your scallop, make sure it's not charring. Keep your heat about medium. See how slightly smoking? That's fine. You don't want it to be too hot. You can tell when it's ready to turn over, you'll start to see the nice crust on the bottom. You start to see it, the translucency of the scallop will start to kind of go away. It becomes more white. The flesh becomes white. You see a thin layer of like a brown crispiness on the bottom of the scallop. That's what you're looking for, okay? And if it sticks, don't panic. Just make sure you turn your heat up a little bit. You might need to add a couple more drops of olive oil. It'll be fine. So we're looking good. We're going to put one scallop right here in the middle, top. You guys see that? Like that. Our second scallop. And the scallop, is really, it's perfect. It's not, if it's really firm, that means it's overcooked. So you want to make sure that you don't overcook the scallop. You take that off to the side like this. These are really, really delicious. You guys see that? Okay. And then as we have a little bit of these baby heirloom tomatoes. So these now are available pretty much all year round in Southern California. It's a luxury of living in California versus New York right now. We have baby heirloom tomatoes, a little bit of salt because the sea salt will actually bring a lot of the natural flavors out. You don't want to over salt the tomatoes, but just a little bit, kind of brings out the natural flavors and it starts extracting the water from the tomato, and you're going to get all the flavors kind of coming out. So when you bite them, you're not biting into just a plain tomato. You're kind of getting a lot of the natural flavors out. So I'm just going to lightly toss that like that. We'll put a couple just kind of around the plate. So we got this beautiful little red tomato, pineapple. It's a pineapple baby heirloom, and this one here, the little burgundy one, that's a brandy wine tomato. Can you guys see that? See the color of it? Put one on top. Okay, so what I did is, once again, you don't want to mask it, you want to just enhance the flavor of the scallop. As it is, it's beautiful. So we're going to add a little bit of accoutrements to it, right? So we got our tomatoes, we got our greens there, and then we just made a little bit of a beurre blanc, which is essentially, it's a very classic mother sauce. It's cream, it's white wine, it's shallots, and we're going to little flavor for that. So we're going to just drizzle a little bit around, and I don't want to bury it in the sauce. This is kind of like an addition, an accoutrement to the dish. So when you're eating it, you can have a little flavor there. And then right on top, we're going to put this beautiful little micro bull's blood, which is a micro beet. There you go. So this is your first course, all right? It's a Monte Leon scallops. You can see that? Okay. All right, so that's your first course. So hope you're going to enjoy that. Yeah, you ready? Okay. Okay, Jeffrey, come on, you're on. So Jeffrey's going to make the halibut.
So everything else in this, basically what we're going to do is, after we get this brown, we're going to put the king oyster mushrooms in. We're going to let them saute a little bit to get cook down a little bit. It's such a meaty mushroom, it has to cook for a while. So we want to get that to where it's both going to come out at the same time as the halibut, so they'll all be ready to play at the same time, because all of you guys are going to kind of play around at the same time. And then we're going to hit it with some shallots, a little bit of garlic, white wine, salt and pepper, and then basically pull it out and plate it. I have some mashed potatoes that we already did. So everybody knows how to make mashed potatoes. And then we'll plate those up as well. Light brown color on it. Starting to cook through. Like Andreas said, once you start to cook it through, you kind of see the proteins coming out of halibut. You can always tell when halibut's overcooked because it'll start coming white. It's like almost like heavy cream that comes out, but it's solid, almost like egg whites. And when that starts to happen, that means it's starting to overcook because the proteins are starting to come out of the fish. You don't want that to happen.
That happens with like salmon and different types of fish. You see this white, the skin, it seeps out. That's what it's done. And halibut is a really great piece of fish, but you really, cooking halibut is really not easy because it's not like a Chilean sea bass. It doesn't have much fat content. More of a lean fish. So, it has a tendency to overcook it out there.
So as you cook it, you want the mushrooms to absorb that extra butter that's rendered from the halibut. It absorbs all that flavor, and then while that's done cooking for about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, then you add your fava beans in. Let them almost warm through. I like that. So we take our mashed potatoes, and you guys don't have to plate it like this. You guys can plate it however you want. It's free interpretation.
Mushroom.
Andreas, do you need any spoons? No? Take one of these.
I want to throw you a curveball. I keep you on the toes.
That's
extra
it.
compote.
And that's the yellow tomato compote on top. Amazing, you guys. Yes.